So beyond meditation, because there are a few new people that have joined the clubhouse room, um, the beyond meditation is all about bringing together or bringing about a beautiful harmonization within ourselves in this human form. And it is all about releasing that very deep-seated conflict that exists, which exists at a subconscious and even an unconscious level. And it's a conflict of the questioning of our soul presence, about the limitations of the human form being the expression of this soul presence. So, and the human form itself um, chooses to start conforming to the limitations of the environment that it is presented at, where it is expressing itself. So the conflict becomes wider and deeper. And really, the understanding that I received is that everything has an innate vibe. And the innate vibe of being human is love. So the moment we choose to be human, and we enter into the beingness of being human, we are actually being love. And love is who we are. We don't require love from outside of us, and we don't even need to seek love inside of us. We are love. Every part of us, every aspect of us is just simply love. So that is the vibe that we are. Now, what is love as a vibration? Everything has a frequency. Love is a vibrational frequency, is an amplifying frequency. And it amplifies whatever it is that chooses to use it as a wave. So it's an amplification wave that you are able to surf. Now, what the Beyond Meditation does is it brings about that harmonization between the soul and the human form. The soul recognizes, and it is already present to its own limitlessness, its own eternal presence, its own indestructible qualities. And it recognizes to express that in a way that it expands its repertoire of experiences, it requires an amplifying wave, which is perfectly available to it through the human form. And that is the reason why the soul chooses the human form. So it declares one of the highest uplifting vibe transformational declarations, where it acknowledges itself as a human, as opposed to maintaining the separation. Okay, I'm compromising for now, being stuck in this human form. It actually acknowledges itself as a human. It receives itself as a human, and it accepts itself as a human. Receiving the acknowledgement of a limitless, eternal power, such as our soul presence, where that limitlessness expresses itself, and by acknowledging itself as a human, it immediately drops out, removes, breaks, disintegrates any negative connotations or patterns we may hold in our human field, which limit us. And we are literally uplifted by the soul presence. And we are uplifted not because we are suddenly, seeking the soul as something that is uplifting us, but we are uplifted because our human form receives itself as a human. And it accepts itself as a human. And when we become stationed in acknowledging, receiving, and accepting who we truly are, all aspects, all facets of ourselves, we station ourselves in being whole and complete. And that whole and completeness of the human form, combined and harmonized with the whole and completeness of the soul presence, brings about a whole and completeness in that relationship and relating. And that deep-seated inner conflict dissolves. And that really is what happens. in Beyond Meditation. And we go into that zone that exists within us. We are able to be in a state of stillness, even amidst huge chaos that may be going on around us. So we have been on a journey of this human vibe attunement. And over the past year or so that we have been working with this, there are many um, silos and deep dives we have taken. Some of them have been like this magical treasure trove, like Aladdin's cave, and others have been, going deep into some realms of darkness, which we didn't know what that was about, but emerging into the light in which we illuminate, with which we illuminate. And we have been going through a very specific journey on these Tuesdays and Thursday sessions over the last several weeks. And if you haven't experienced that, then go ahead and go to the Expect and Accept Miracles section of my YouTube channel, and you will have access to all of these different Beyond meditations. We are working with the vibe of fear. And there's a part of me which keeps feeling, oh, we should just, when are we going to finish this so we can move to the next one? Because I know what's coming, 2 topics hence, but I want to, fear is to be completed first. So we're going to keep going because each time we go into a particular nuance that causes a pocket of negative vibe within us that interferes with a regenerative experience of whole and completeness. So fear it still is, and we are still working with it. And today's session on fear is very specifically going to focus on certain fears that are so deep-seated. They are created by us in this human form, but they're created very early on in our life. And they are so deep-seated, so deeply ingrained, that we never acknowledge them. But from time to time, we find ourselves digging our heels in the mud and totally refusing to budge, and noticing our mind generating all sorts of rationales and reasons and justifications why this change cannot take place. And we become so good at justifying it. And the more we justify, it's as if we have this little, a negative spin current that is held in our fields that takes us into a spin. And we've got it so well hidden with all the work that we may be doing on ourselves that we don't recognize it until we are in it. But in any time you have anything spinning like that within you, it is sucking away at your life force. It is depleting your vitality. And that spin is only related to some fear that you may be holding. And fear, as you know, is false expectations appearing real. There is some expectation like that. And the joy of Beyond Meditation and the human vibe attunement is we are going to use the strategy, the tactics of up-leveling the vibration of our human form so that it is consistent with what the human form is really about, which is love. And the moment you reconnect to that, it is an amplifying frequency. It amplifies automatically. And the moment it starts to amplify automatically, it reconnects to the soul, which is eternal and limitless and indestructible. It is such a chain reaction that it literally is even faster than the nuclear phenomenon. And doing it in a circle like we have been doing, so many of you who've been here for so long, ever since I began this, sharing this body of work publicly, that we ourselves, each one of us, is such a massive holographic presence where our vibes literally expand holographically to everyone and everything we have ever connected with, including professions that you're a part of. It's like little slivers of this beautiful human vibe elixir is starting to percolate vibrationally. So we don't have to necessarily go into the details of the content of this type of fear that I'm talking about that takes us into a spin. We just need to know that it exists. Each one of us has, our own little fur balls, as we say, which really cough up at some point, but it doesn't have to be uncomfortable. The human vibe attunement just completely disintegrates it. So you don't get uncomfortable and you don't gag with that fur ball. It disappears. And that's what we're working on. So let's begin. So get yourself to be comfortable. Get yourself to be seated comfortably. And it's best to be sitting upright on a chair or a bench or the edge of the bed or a stool, whatever it is, as opposed to sitting cross-legged. If you have to sit cross-legged, go ahead and do that. If there is any other medical condition that gets you to sit in a different way, then you go ahead and do that. So there you are, comfortably seated. Imagine that the middle of your feet are connected to the core of the earth. The base of your spine is connected to the core of the earth. Drop your hands on either side of you. Have your palms facing forward. So your elbow is sort of digging in a little bit into your sides. And you stretch your fingers a little, very gently. Everything happens very gently here. And the tips of your fingers are also connected to the core of the earth. This connection to the core of the earth is all done with a cord. And this cord is made up of 4 metals: gold, silver, copper, and bronze. Gold has a very specific impact in nurturing and nourishing and enriching the well-beingness of your nervous system and your brain cells. In doing so, it also gets the cerebral spinal fluid moving very healthily. It brings back that pattern, that rhythm with which that fluid moves in your physical body. Has a direct impact, therefore, on the nerves that are emanating out of your spinal column, has a direct impact on the joints, the ball and socket joints, on your entire skeletal structure also. Silver, on the other hand, is antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal. So it starts zapping any such existences in your field and in your body. Copper, for the purposes of this connection through our cord, focuses on harmonizing the mineral component in our body. So our body doesn't have to leach out excess calcium, for example, and many other ways in which the body harmonizes its minerals by depleting certain structures so that the body can be in harmony. Copper is actually bringing about that harmonization, and it is bringing about a remembrance of operating with this harmony in place and intact. Bronze, on the other hand, connects you to the divinity that you are. It connects you to the illumination of your light. This cord is operating like a vacuum suction pump. And in that way, it is taking out, releasing from your body any energies that no longer serve you, any energies that may be in excess. And you feel that release taking place. And as the release of those energies take place, the space that is left is filled with the nourishment and the nurturing that becomes available to you through the qualities of these four metals that come together in the form of an alloy to make up this clearing cord. You can now lift your hands and put them on top of your thighs. Your palms are facing upwards. Your shoulders are dropped down. Your feet are connecting quite strongly to the core of the earth. And in feeling the strength of your feet and the connection to the core of the earth, you notice as if the back of your crown is being lifted up. Your shoulders are dropping down. Your shoulder blades are coming closer together. Your neck is stretched perfectly. The double chin's gone. The breath has become very clear. The breath channel is very clear. You're noticing your breath. You're breathing in and out. I want you to take that breath into your heart. So you're breathing into your heart love, kindness, and compassion. And you're breathing out gratitude and peace. As that breathing in and out is happening, just imagine as if there is a pressure point that is there just below your collarbone, about 2 inches to the left and 2 inches to the right of your collarbone. There's an acupressure point that is automatically being pressed, and it's having a direct impact on your endocrine system. This time you take your breath into your heart, and as you're breathing out, you're going to move your head as if you're touching your chin to your chest. So your head is going to move down, your chin is going to go towards your chest. And what we're doing here is we are relieving your brainstem, which holds the fright and flight syndrome, which is associated with fear and remains inflamed. So we're actually going to just release the inflammation there as we do this. Energetically, your body is really well prepared. So all the tightness and the cloudiness and the lack of clearing that was there, that is being released. Breathe in, take a deep breath into your heart, love, kindness, and compassion. Breathe out, touch your chin to the chest. Keep breathing in and out. With every breath out, you'll see your chin can go deeper towards your chest. Now you can relax, breathe in, lift your head up. Your head is back to the center. Your neck is resting very nicely, gently on your shoulders. Shoulders are dropped down. We are now connecting this cord to the to that angle of your elbows. So each elbow has got that cord connected to it, and it is taking out any tension, aches, pains, discomfort, blocked lymphatic fluid that has become stagnant that needs to be released. It's being released from your elbows into the core of the earth. And as that is happening, there is a really big plank of golden light that is coming from the core of the earth. And it's a golden light with diamond like sparkles in it, very brightly illuminated. And it is shining up into your body from the base of your feet. And there you are, filled with this beautiful light. And you're going to remain stationed in this light. And this light is going to go into every nook and cranny where there may be any form of darkness that may be there. And that darkness is being released. We are now going to do a particular form of breathing, a 9-4-6 breath. And this 9-4-6 breath aligns your mind brain, your heart brain, and your gut brain. We have got 3 brain type connections in our body. There are 3 very important centers. We have the mind brain, which is the brain as we know it, the heart brain, and our gut, our large intestine, which also is a brain. All of these 3 organs are connected to every organ, every system in our body. The mind oscillates between past and future. It is all about survival. Heart is present in the now, keeps us grounded and real. Our gut provides us the comfort, the safety, the security, and the inner knowingness of all the wisdom that we have amassed from all our lifetimes. Aligning these 3 together relaxes the mind, relieves any tension that might be impacting our heart, and unblocks the gut so it can freely release its intuitive guidance to you, knowing that it is being received. This breath pattern is a 9-4-6 breath. You breathe in to the count of 9, you hold to the count of 4, and you breathe out to the count of 6. It also opens up all of the 13 chakras that are now available for the attunement of this human form. More about that at another session that I will do very specifically for the 7 chakras that have been known for a long time and the new ones that make it up to 13. For now, get the benefit of all of them being opened and in tune. So you're going to breathe into the count of 9, hold to the count of 6, breathe out to the count of, hold to the count of 4, breathe out to the count of 6. Breathe into 9, hold 4, breathe out 6. And I'm going to guide you through that. Once you've finished, you're going to just repeat after me the human vibe attunement. Okay, let's begin. Breathe in 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In between, just take regular breaths. Here we go again. Breathe in 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I want you to repeat after me the 3 phrases that attune us to the human vibe. the vibe of love, which is an amplification frequency. And you begin in your human form by making this declaration. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. Your soul presence, stepping in, leading this declaration. Now, I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. The human form and the soul presence come together and in complete harmony declare, I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. Notice yourself sitting down in the center of a column. You have this beautiful golden light that is sparkling into you and through you out into your field. And you notice you are surrounded by a column of light. And it's a purple light, a fluorescent purple light with fluorescent green in it. And this combination of fluorescent and purple is literally nourishing your heart and your third eye. providing a very deep-seated attunement, a physiological attunement that is in line with this uplifted version of your human form, sa-sphere without fear. And as that happens, you notice as if a bubble of inflammation that was surrounding your brainstem is suddenly released. And you feel settled, centered, and stationed and present within your own presence, standing tall, rising, expanding, and noticing you are completely grounded. And you are in the presence of you, in the vibe of being human, which is love. Being stationed in this, experiencing the homecoming of your soul presence into your physical body, you now have the capacity and are invited to anchor the human within humanity, the human vibe of love. So repeat after me. I anchor the human within humanity. 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 I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I anchor the human within humanity. I anchor the human within humanity. Breathe in 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take your hands in front of your heart. Rub them against each other. Put them over your eyes. Open your eyes in them. Take them on top of your head, the back of your head, down your neck, either side of your shoulders, and just do an energy sweep and blow. And if you are tranced out or feel that you are in that state, just continue in that state until you're ready to recover and emerge. And if you are able to and would like to, then please share your one word to complete this session, and we anchor that in the field of the body of work we have just done. So go ahead and put it in the chat. Grateful from Tammy. Thank you for hosting Clubhouse. Full circle, gratitude, hearts, and namaste, love and compassion. Beautiful. So at 5:30 Pacific time on the same Zoom link, we are going to have our next Pearl of Wisdom. And this Pearl of Wisdom is about success. So I really like it, huh? Success is a pearl of wisdom. One of those pearls that has the capacity to make this world a world that works for everyone. So wonderful and excited to share the full spectrum of success and what that means as a pearl of wisdom. The experience of violet and green light was amazing. Thank you. Grateful and love. Beautiful, love and compassion, deep rest, anchored and grateful, deeply filled, beautiful, anchored with lots of fabulous um, emoticons. Linda, gratitude and namaste. Serenity, peace, and gratitude. Thank you. Surrounded by purple, love and peace. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you in a few hours at the Pearl of Wisdom. And for those of you joining Beyond Meditation, I look forward to seeing you on Saturday. So thank you.